Welcome to 33 King Street. We are here today on the Drilling and Chilling podcast. Today I've got a very special guest, third generation driller. We've got Marchus Harris from Topdrive. Marcus, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
That's when everyone's meant to clap, but everyone's not listening anymore. So there we go. Yeah. I get it right. Perfect. All right. My notes aside for now. Thank you so much for coming in. I really do appreciate it. Really today I want to hear about your story. So let's take us back to, I guess, the first time your first day on the drill site. Like, how did you get to that point? Obviously third generation has been in your family for a while. So like, were you drilling? Were you on the sites, rigs at like 3 or 4 years old? Did your dad bring you on? Like, tell us that.
There is a couple of pictures that my mother has of me. I think I had nappies on. Might have been just out of nappies. Out on the drill site, yeah. Mum was offsiding and Dad was drilling, doing water bores in Queensland, so quite a while ago.
Yeah.
So did definitely got it in my blood, I suppose.
Yeah.
And moved to Kalgoorlie when I was 13 or 14.
Okay.
Done a bit of school there. Thought at 15 I'd been doing a lot of stuff at Scanlon Drilling in the yard, helping out on weekends and school holidays and that. And then I think I was, it's been 15 going on 16. I got a tap on the shoulder and told, pack your stuff, you're out of here tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, what did I do wrong? Like, no, you're out on the rig, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went out and off-sided on the rig and thought, this is great.
Yes.
I love this sort of stuff. So ended up leaving school and thought, that's for dummies, I'm going to be a driller.
Oh, no, well, I mean... most trades sort of 16. It's like, I think had a lot of mates that just went on, like, owned their own building companies now. They've left when they were 16 and stuff. So still a very, advantageous move. With when you were sort of on the side, what was like was it RC rig? Was it diamond? Like, what was you guys doing? It was all water
the first rig was water bore rig.
Yeah. Okay.
Moved from that onto a diamond rig.
Yep.
With another company. Learned a bit about that and thought, I like this.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people call it gentleman drilling.
Gentleman drilling, yep.
Yeah, well, every time I see it, I see people in like...
You're just not sucking dust, that's all. Some people say RC's harder, it's tougher, it's this, it's that, and in some aspects it is.
Yeah.
Same with the air core drilling and that, but I suppose the gentleman drilling has its moments too, where it can be pretty, I guess, you can get quite fatigued.
Yeah,
you can work hard, rod pulls, hole moves, all that sort of stuff. So, it has its own. I do like it. It's a little bit more technical. The control, deviation and directional control and all that sort of stuff. Do deeper holes.
Yeah.
And just about grow grass on some of the pads you're there that long. So depending on how many daughters you're doing and things like that. So
it just becomes a second home really out there.
It does. Yeah.
So I mean, obviously, a lot of places now, when diamond and stuff, you're out there for a while. They're on site. Did you camp out there? Like, what was that?
There was a variety. So I love the young caravan out there, the full bush style exploration camping. You can let your hair down. I like to have the client with us. So most of our jobs actually have the client with us, where we stay there at night together and things like that, and share all your bits and pieces and cooking duties and cleaning and all that sort of stuff, and it makes a good atmosphere because you're both there for the same reason, to see the success of the drill program and hope that they get something good there and we can be there in 20 years.
Awesome. Actually, always wanted to know this. What's your go-to meal at the site? Like if you had to cook a meal?
I'd probably speak for a lot of people when I say a decent steak.
A decent steak? Okay. You make a mean steak?
I suppose. It depends how people like them cooked. Yeah. So you gotta,
You go from there.
You go from there, yeah.
Oh, that's really good. Oh, awesome. So obviously, you're out there, you're on a rig site. So what was the first company you had actually worked for?
Scanlon Drilling, doing water bores.
Doing the water bores. And then what made you transition, I guess, like move away from
Move from water bores to diamond.
Yeah. Obviously,
work was a little bit slow at the time. It was an opportunity to go and try something new. So I had to go at that. And then after, I think it was 6 months of being there, I started to learn how to drill. Mm-hmm. And then probably drilled diamond for a year. And then I got told I had to do RC.
Okay.
So I learned how to drill a bit of RC as well. I think I spent 3 or 4 years there at that company. and then moved from there over to Grimwood Davies.
Okay.
Learned how to do aircore RC properly.
Yep.
And then swung back onto the diamond after a couple of years there. So
Diamond's been.
I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy the diamond drilling. That's where I've spent most of my experience in. But I do like RC as well, and I do like aircore. I guess it's a bit of a variety. They all have their own spot.
You don't have to say you like them. It's fine. You can just say
But
diamond.
if you said to me, you're going to go back out and drill for the next 6 months or whatever, pick a rig, pick what sort of drilling you want to do. Diamond would probably be where I put my hand up for. So
perfect. So obviously you've had a lot of time on your diamond sites, and we'll go back to sort of your earlier days of drilling. What did you find like the hardest element of sort of being out there? Like, were there days where you're like, this, obviously because you'd been in your family, you kind of knew about it, and you knew the struggles and stuff with it, but was there anything that sort of shocked you when you actually got out there for the first, during the first time or anything?
Dealing with people.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is being so young.
Yep.
Operating and running a rig at, I think I must have been probably 18, 17, 18, something like that, where I actually had a chance to run a rig.
Yeah.
The hardest part was dealing with people.
Yeah.
And that was because, you get someone that's 30 years old, I'm a lot older than you, why do I have to listen to you, blah, 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 what do you know, you're still in nappies.
Yeah.
And so that was probably what put me back a little bit, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I think it was good.
Yep.
Because it taught me how to manage different people different ways and things like that. So, yeah.
Any crazy horror stories from that time? Like...
Oh...
It's all right. Look,
who knows? There's all sorts. Boys will be boys, I suppose.
Yeah.
Get up to all sorts of bits and pieces. So we used to, a lot of work around Kalgoorlie. We'd have days off and stuff like that. So we'd go out and work for 6 or 8 weeks straight, and have to have a couple of RDOs. And on those RDOs, you'd be like, what am I going to do? So we'd go out, exploring or go and grab one of the bikes, because I lived in Cal at the time, and go riding and things like that, and do all sorts of stuff. So we try to behave ourselves most of the time.
No, that's good.
Occasionally, you just get shit-faced drunk. That's what cured me.
That's a good given. It's a good RDO strategy right there. So now you mentioned obviously bikes. I think we were talking about it prior to the podcast. Obviously, you riding. Have you been riding your entire life?
Yeah. So I was born in Bundaberg in Queensland.
Yep.
When we were 13, we moved over. I was in Toowoomba in the motorcycle club, racing bikes and doing hill climbs and all sorts of stuff. So,
perfect. Did you do competitions and stuff as well?
A couple of times when I was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't bother anymore.
No aspirations to be.
Nah. I enjoy fishing, and I actually enjoy work.
Yeah.
I really enjoy drilling and running a business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So. All right. So let's go back. So you said you worked for a company for 3 years. Yeah. Yep. Talk to me about that journey. So like you'd obviously, was that still in Cal?
No, that one was Perth based.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd been living in Perth for a little bit.
Okay.
I'd been doing some OHS roles and things like that for other companies, just to get that experience in that area.
Yeah.
Obviously with the idea that when I get a chance to hopefully own my own business one day, I can cover most spots, at least enough to have an understanding what's required of that position. So that, I spent 3 years at a business building that up. Basically got begged to go in and give them a hand.
Who was that for, sorry?
That was Boztec Drilling.
Boztec, okay.
Yeah, so that was Boztec Drilling. They weren't doing so well.
Okay.
Going to make some changes, stuff like that. So a good profit share turned into an equity buy and turned into a lip service, and I basically went, see you later, buddy. I might as well do this myself. So I did go to another company from there where I learned a lot of what not to do as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's what pushed me over the edge to say, no, I'm going to do it myself. I don't need someone else to wreck my reputation, you know, that I was building, doing business development and operation management and stuff like that. So
it's really good. So you mentioned obviously you've learned a lot of things. I'm keen to sort of dive into that a little bit deeper. What were some of the sort of the key learnings or the things that you saw the companies weren't really doing as well that I guess you were like sort of banging your hands against the wall to sort of push towards?
I guess for me, some of the things that I've seen in the industry is as the industry transitioned into a lot more training and stuff like that, international or certifications and all that sort of stuff, you seem to get a lot of people that would come through that had done the training certifications and all that for trainer assessors and that, but had no drilling background.
Okay.
And then I did see one or two circumstances where those guys would get signed off to pass people out for a national cert as a driller, but had no bloody idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
So that's where I thought, well, this should be drillers teaching drillers and stuff like that. So that's, I guess, where I had opportunity to do the OHS certification. Learn that. Obviously, I'd been exposed to a lot of it in the process and that, and get onto the training and stuff like that. So it was actually, when you go out and get assessed and whatnot, you can go, right, this is where we're at, this is what we're doing. Give us some questions. Does he understand what he's doing? Probably not. Probably does. At least you can pick that up yourself. A person that hasn't got the experience in the industry is not going to pick that up, I don't think.
Figure it out from there. So obviously, yes, the training side of it and really making sure the guys are out there knowing what they're doing. It's
all about your people. My opinion, any business comes down to the people that's in it. It's all about the people. So you can have great equipment, but if you haven't got the right people running it, and the right people doing backing them up, that's not going to work. So
I suppose your time, previous rigs, and obviously being pretty young, I mean, you spent so much time in it. You know what a successful driller looks like, and you know what someone.
There's two types.
Two types.
A driller. And a lever attendant. So a driller is taught, he's motivated, self-motivated, and he's taught to run the rig. Deal with the client, organise their equipment, their stores, ordering their gear, maintaining their equipment. Obviously they're not mechanics, but most drillers, decent drillers, know how to do pretty much for everything on the rig, including a head change out, or hydraulic pumps or component change outs and stuff like that. So, that's the difference.
So you got to kind of that.
A lever attendant is just a lever attendant.
I feel I would be a lever attendant. I don't know if I'm cut out for it.
But we all started somewhere, and we all became lever attendants before we became drillers.
That's good. What point I mean, obviously it's a difficult question because you've obviously grown up with it. So you've been doing it from such a young age. So your experience is slightly different, but can you see the switch in someone when they've become a lever, from a lever attendant to sort of that driller, that switch? It's not like a switch, it's a progressive thing over a period of time, but you see them starting to build more confidence in themselves, and then see them starting to take charge of their shift or their rig, and you see them starting to come forward with, here's some, questions, different things that happen on the rigs. They start asking questions or saying, giving suggestions for different solutions. Giving us solutions and things like that. And it's like, okay, this guy's gone from a lever attendant to a driller where he's ambitious. He's shown the motivation to want to move into that and starting to take charge and become a leader. I suppose for yourself, that obviously would mean that, putting that time into that, you're like, I know that my time and investment in this person is actually going to.
Then you go for it.
Yeah, going to reach something there.
You go for it.
And go from there.
And the sky's the limit.
Perfect. Now, you mentioned something I thought was very interesting. Is obviously you used to like to have the client on site with you as well, get to know them, and then when you were talking just before about everyone being in together, and being a proper driller is understanding and how to deal with the client, how to deal with your rig, that sort of thing. And the client question I have for you is, how important do you see that relationship between you and your client, both for that particular project, but also ongoing relationships? It
is more important than anything else, pretty much. Obviously, we need to be safe out there. We need to do the job correctly and that. But the whole reason the client and us are there is to, find a decent deposit that's going to make everyone successful. So having the right people with the right attitudes and building the relationships with the client is one of the key factors to getting repeat business and being a good drilling company.
Now, I mean, there's always talk about geos and drillers being two completely separate people, personality types. Do you find that as well? Do you find they're actually quite similar in terms of who they are? Or it depends?
Most cases, I think they're very similar.
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
They're both out there doing the same thing. One's operating a machine and running that. The other one's operating and maintaining the project.
Yeah.
So we're just doing different sides of the same piece of paper, pretty much, in my opinion. Yeah.
So it really just means, hey, let's
you do it together.
Yeah, just
Makes
do it together.
Easier.
Yeah, no, I really like that. I mean, there's a lot of importance. Obviously, you got to kind of not look at it as, from what you're saying, like, not look at it as I'm contracted by this particular person. It's like, no, we've entered a partnership here. Like, we need to actually work on this. Yeah. Do it. So you've obviously got a lot of really good relationships, obviously, within the industry. And you mentioned before you never wanted to tarnish that reputation. That's kind of why you went sort of back to Topdrive and what you did there. Yeah. So talk to me about that, I guess, ambition to go, we're going to take this back over, we're going to build it up to where it is today, and let's talk about Topdrive's journey as well. So when did you take it over?
2018. Okay. It was sitting in the back corner of a yard with a couple of sea containers, a couple of rigs, a couple of trucks, and basically a pile of junk. Yeah. So, acquired that, so to speak. Yeah. Started out with little to nothing. Took the best parts of it, and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. A few beers here and there, and we got into it. So haven't looked back since. So it's been 5 years now. Yeah, and just been improving.
So in the beginning, the struggles you talked about there, because obviously you had built this up and sort of taken it over. This was your first this is my sort of operation, correct? Yeah. Yep. Talk to me about, I guess, the fears you had in that respect. Could you recall back when you were first on the rig and have those, am I doing the right thing or?
I guess some of the fears and stuff like that was making sure that we had work, that we had cash flow, that the guys that I brought on, that I could look after them, because it went from looking after one family, my family, now to looking after 35 different families. Yeah, okay. So that's probably the biggest fear for me. It's not about a get rich quick scheme. It's about building a good solid company that's got a good reputation, that does what they say they're going to do. And hopefully at some stage we can start to lead the market. We're not big, but it's about quality.
So that's the ambition, is obviously quality over quantity, but you're wanting to obviously grow Topdrive even further. Yeah. What's your aspiration, I guess, in terms of where you want the company to go to?
I think I'd like to see the company at around 5 operating rigs.
Okay, cool.
I believe it still keeps it big enough where you can, if you need to stick a few rigs into one project, you can knock out some volume for a client. But it also keeps it small enough where you can focus on the quality. Yeah. I think when it gets too big, you can't keep your finger on the pulse, so to speak. Yeah. So perfect. Too many moving parts. But there's some big companies that have been successful doing it.
Yeah. So you just gotta kind of, I guess there's levels to it as well, and it's like where guys are sort of comfortable. I mean, I've spoken to drillers that have 2 rigs and they're happy with that, because that's the level of capability they can sort of go. So it seems like it is an industry where you can, if you do the good work and you put the effort in, you can succeed with whatever size of company it is. It's just,
if it was easy, everyone would do it. That's all I can say. Yeah. It's not an easy gig. No, it is hard work. Yeah. And it takes a team. Yeah. So.
How big is your team now? You mentioned 35 families.
About 35.
35 people.
35 to 40 people, something like that. It varies depending on what equipment's out working and things like that.
And go from there. Where's and like how many people are actually in head office, sort of taking
head office? So there's probably 5 or 6 people. Okay. That actually back up the few rigs that we got. Yep. Yeah.
And you're not drilling at the moment, obviously. Well, not doing yourself, but like you're not out.
When I get a chance and I do go out and do a visit, I fill in, I have a play, all that sort of stuff. So if they come in and report to the operations that they've got a couple of issues and stuff like that, don't jump down their neck thinking you should be doing this and should be doing that. I have an understanding of where they're at and what's happening. So
you go out there. Still miss it?
Occasionally. Yeah. I do like being out on the rig, and I do like drilling, and running or looking after one shift is a lot better than running a whole business. A lot less stress, I suppose. But I do enjoy the business side of things too,
Yeah.
where I know I can make a difference within my business. So
Perfect. And obviously making a difference within
Yeah.
others' lives as well.
oh, definitely.
For
Yeah.
it. And so you've still kept a lot of the relationships that you've had with a lot of the clients. Is that how you, when you first began, sort of kicked things off, I guess? It's
Yeah.
like you had those relationships that you'd built, and
Yeah.
were those
Yeah.
some of your first clients, or were they brand new? Like
Some of them were brand new. A lot of them were brand new. A lot of it was through, obviously, because I was with a aircore RC company and breaking into a diamond market. I hadn't been on the diamond front for a little while. I was referred to as RC and aircore all the time. So when I approached them about it, they're like, "Oh, okay, we didn't know that." So yeah, got going, and had Duncan Franny was running Explorum at the time. Give us an opportunity with our first program, and we've hit the ground running since. So we've serviced a variety of clients, repeat business and stuff like that. So it's been really good.
And you've got all the rigs out at the moment?
No, I've got one stripped apart.
Okay.
One stripped apart, getting a full overhaul. So it was supposed to be a midlife birthday, and it went from that to
You've got to fix a lot of
let's
stuff.
make some improvements, let's upgrade some things, and let's do it properly. So that one's a work in progress. And then we've got the other two about to go out on jobs, but we're currently waiting on rain.
Okay.
There's been a bit of rain out through Leinster Laverton area, so it's pretty wet.
Yeah, all right.
So we don't want to destroy the roads or the equipment trying to get out there. So, you know, we've been keeping in contact with the clients and that, and make sure that...
Just go for there.
Yeah, but we've been pretty consistent most of the time. Yeah, two to three rigs and...
Out at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment. So
how are you finding, I guess, the industry at the moment? I mean, I'm hearing lots of different things. Things are going up, that we're going to have a great year. I've heard, you know, with all the lithium and everything, you know, losing its steam.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
That's the industry.
Yeah.
You get the ups, the downs, different markets do different things, and things like that. Where do I think it's at? I'm not sure. Crystal ball would be good.
Yeah.
Crystal ball, but
that's what I'm trying to find out.
Yeah. But all you can do is focus on what you do well, and continue to do that, and help out wherever you can, and hope that you see it through the other side. So for me, it's a long game, not a short game.
Yeah.
So I guess my perspective might be slightly different to others.
Yeah.
It is a business. It does have to be successful. But I do like taking a bit of a punt. I do a bit of drill for equity, so to speak, here and there.
Okay.
Yeah, helps out the juniors. Also gives me some investment opportunity. The best way I know how to add value.
Yep.
Not just to my business, but also to a client.
Yep.
And their business.
Never knew that would be an option. I mean, it's a very smart way of looking at it, especially for stuff like the juniors and things like that that don't have the greatest drilling budgets for it as well.
But may have a great deposit and a great team that's getting in
there
having a crack. And that's...
Do you do a lot of research on the team before you look at it, or is it just kind of the...
Oh, look at the team.
Yeah, look at the team. Obviously,
because people's everything.
Yeah, well, I was about to say that. I'm like, you know, you probably do as much research as we would when we're sort of reaching out to prospects.
I'd say 90% of it is on the people that are running the projects, and then start to look at the project. I'm not a geologist by any means. I have a reasonable understanding on what the possibilities are, but there is a level of risk for everyone.
Of course, I mean, you take this job, doesn't pan out, but something else happens and you've missed another opportunity. Like
that's right,
So things happen.
Or you're busy and you're trying to get another rig sorted out because you want to go and do a program. So you give it to a friend, and 3 years later he's still drilling there. And you're like, that could have been good.
Does that happen?
It does happen, but it's a win-win. So
it's a win for the industry.
It is. It
is as well. All right, fantastic.
And if I'm not being successful in an area, it's great to see someone else is.
That's an excellent way to sort of look at it. I mean, I've always lived within that philosophy, is like our community sort of bounds us regardless of competition or not. Like if ever, you know, the industry is thriving, everyone kind of wins. Everyone sort of takes it. So that's a killer way to sort of look at it. What I might do for right now, because we've got 5 minutes before the batteries jump out, I might take a quick break. For a moment, and then we'll come back and we'll dive a little bit deeper into, I guess, your uses of CorePlan and technology and where you sort of see that stuff happening, and go from there.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thanks.
All right, so left off, I think we're going to sort of touch on, I guess, technology within the drilling space, how you sort of adopted it. From our conversation, it seems like you're quite forward-thinking in terms of making sure you have the best product in the marketplace. You have been using CorePlan for sort of 2 years or so now. Talk to me about the other things you've sort of implemented within the business to sort of stay ahead of the game, I guess. Like, what are sort of some of the key things that you've done that you've seen successful within Topdrive?
Actually, we've had our safety and training system, which is a STEMS database. Is where we started out before we actually approached CorePlan. That one's been quite successful. It does a lot in the way of providing us with our training needs analysis and matrix and all that sort of stuff. It's like any database, shit in, shit out. So there's been that. We also have obviously live access to a few other of our products and that we use, like different survey equipment and things like that, where the people we hire them off provide us with live information. So when they do a survey out on the rig, we can see it as soon as it's uploaded. We run Starlink systems out on the rigs. So every rig and camp that we have has got a Starlink system, good communication. Everything's done on a tablet, either through CorePlan or through our own internal system that gives them access to all the safety material, all the training material, everything and anything that they need to be successful out there.
Perfect. And like, how have you found this, the implementation of CorePlan from, I guess, your previous experiences?
Easy.
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 I want to hear.
It is easy to use, easy to get around, and if there's a problem or I don't understand something, because usually it's just me not understanding something, it's an email or a quick click on the website, and within a couple of minutes I've got an answer or a bit of guidance. It's really good. So a previous product that I had, it was 6 weeks, and how much are we going to charge you to get advice on something I'm already paying for? So, yes, easy.
That's fantastic.
So,
that's really good to hear. There's one question I want to ask about sort of, I guess, technology and where it sort of comes from. Every time we go to these trade shows, there's always something about self-driving trucks or self-drilling rigs and that sort of stuff. Do you foresee that coming in the future?
Where do I see the future? On the drilling side. Well,
like automation.
I guess the first thing is they don't make drillers like they used to. That's definitely for sure. We definitely have a different upbringing to this next generation, a lot less PlayStations. So I think the future is, I do believe that there will be some AI implementation into drilling and how the process is done on that. But I don't think it's going to take away some of the people from it. You still need to sample it. You still need to get it in, set it up. If there's an issue, whether it be with the machine or the process or something like that, you still need someone in there to sort it out. The old AI is not going to do that for you from a program.
Nah,
not always.
Not always. Well, I mean, it doesn't always generally give me the right answer anyway. But
no, that's it.
That's combination of things. So, is there a piece of tech that you see leans towards it that you've sort of had your eye on in that space?
I do like the idea of full hands-free and automation on rigs. I do like that idea. I know that there's a couple of systems out there that are probably fairly well developed, but I do think there's a lot of errors. So for me personally, I would like to get Topdrive involved with something like that. But it'd be nice to see where the industry's at with it before we go diving into it. Obviously, some of these other companies can afford to put $10 million into the R&D to do something like that. We definitely cannot. But I would like to be a part of it. Then the other question is the old batteries and renewable energies and stuff like that. I think they're definitely it's gonna go towards that. Batteries or hydrogen driven or something like that.
No solar powered drill rigs.
I don't think you can drag around 2,000 solar panels to power one of those. So either that, or you pull your batteries out and take it back to camp and charge it on a diesel generator. Kind of defeats the purpose. So it would be good to see where the industry is in another 20 to 50 years.
You're still going to be plugging along in Topdrive by that point. Like, how long do you reckon you're going to have in there? I know you mentioned you want to be 80.
Oh, I'd like to be at a retirement age here.
Yeah.
I'd like to see maybe the next generation of my family grab the reins if that's what they want to do. If not, I've got plenty of other guys within the organisation that we support and that support us. So I'd like to see something long term for them.
See Topdrive going on for a long time now.
Yeah.
Perfect. So obviously, yes, you've got your son, and so you're bringing him potentially to, like, if he wants to, but you've been teaching him sort of.
He's been off sighting for a while.
Yeah.
He went and worked for another company that I spent 10 years at.
Okay.
He went and worked for them for a year to get an idea of what it's really like, and then he's come back and there's a trainee driller.
Fantastic.
Will he be running the business one day? Well, that's entirely up to him, and it's not just a lip service. It's got to be earned. He's got to earn every way of it like anyone else. He's no different than anyone else within the business. He needs to earn his wage. So
put in the work. But do you see that in him? Obviously, the driller, not a lever puller, basically.
Not yet. He's still a lever puller. He's still working his way up and learning. So he's only 21 going on 22. So he's still got another 5 to 10 years before he's going to be a driller instead of a lever attendant. Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. There is one story I do want to touch on because you spoke about it before. Obviously, it's got nothing to do with drilling, but I want to actually hear it. What happened? So you ride bikes. You mentioned before you didn't get your ribs tattooed when we were talking before because you ripped your rib cage out. Talk to me this story because I actually want to hear this.
Okay. The usual weekend warrior bike riding with mates. Obviously, when I was younger, I used to do a bit of motocross and stuff like that. So I can ride reasonably well and do some pretty stupid things. So we'd been riding all day up at Dirt Rider Haven, north of Perth. There's about 6 tracks there, and just out with mates having a good time. And we'd finished messing around for the day, and I thought, I'll just follow them. I was a bit tired and stuff like that, and wasn't paying attention, and overshot a jump by a fair bit. It's a 140-foot jump. Jeez. I overshot it, flat landed, and broke all my ribs on one side, punctured my lung.
Did you go over handlebars?
No,
just from the
it
impact?
went to the side and I went the other way. It's just the impact. It's like hitting concrete.
God.
Yeah, so I busted all my ribs, fractured a bunch of stuff, and picked myself up off the ground, took a breath and went,
oof,
that hurt. You haven't done that before. So I didn't bounce up like I usually do.
Yeah.
I guess getting a bit older.
How old were you at this point?
That was 2016.
16, okay.
I was running another drilling company at the time.
Yep.
So I got one of my mates to drive the car back because I was a little bit busted up.
Wow.
Peeled myself out of the seat and then went into Rockingham Hospital and got transferred to intensive care in Perth here.
Surgery straight away, right?
Oh, no surgery.
No.
Luckily, they mended myself.
Oh, all right.
Painkillers and a few slaps up the head by the wife, but yeah.
What are you doing? That's
yeah.
Right. But and then just ran the company from the couch. You said, yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. I was in there for 3 days in ICU, and then I got out, and then within 2 days, the company I was working for, the guy that owned it, had the safety manager drop the laptop and that off down at my house and said, "You got a business to run."
Yep.
So, yeah.
You are the epitome of rain, hail, or shine, I swear to God. Broken ribs, running a drill company from your couch.
I do know, since then I'd spoken to a couple of clients that I got really good relationships with, and they reckon it was a funny time. They knew when I'd had some meds. It was, we probably won't do that, Marcus. Okay.
Look, if you just drill upwards, I think it'll be a lot better efficiency for us. So.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fantastic. No, thank you so much for obviously sharing that. I think it is actually a testament to just, I guess, your work ethic and, what you're able to do. I think from this conversation, I know that you love what you're doing. That's no hands down. I think any company that would work for you or like with you, or anyone that has the pleasure of actually working with you is getting someone that knows the industry really, really well and is going to put everything in place for them to be successful. I think, and I'm not going to say it, pat my own back here, but I think obviously employing things like CorePlan and those technologies have helped a lot of it as well. So before we wrap up today, is there anything you want to shout out for the company? Is there any drillers, technology, things that you want to talk about at all before we wrap up?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. I think, I guess, what sets us different from everyone else, I suppose.
Love that.
Topdrive, obviously a family-owned business, but that family's not just my immediate family. That's the people that work for us, work with us. We're a lot different in many ways, I suppose. We are focused on our people. We are buying new equipment, upgrading. We're not a massive behemoth, so to speak. So the guy who runs it is there working in it. The guy that owns it is running it. And if you need questions or answers or need to work on something, you can go straight to the person that's in charge of it and get an answer straight away instead of beating around the bush. So we are open, honest and transparent.
It's good.
We don't hide nothing. We try to improve continuously. And we know what we're doing. Not just management team. We back them up, but the guys in the field are highly experienced.
I would not expect anything less. I don't think you would put anyone out in the field that hasn't been trained by your hands. So, drilling since you were 16, honestly, I'd want to learn from you myself. So, no, it's fantastic. Where can people find you online?
They can get us online. So we're at topdrivedrillers.com.au.
Yep.
We're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, all that sort of stuff. You can find me or the company on LinkedIn.
Yep.
We do regular posts. You'll probably find most of it's about our people, because it is about our people. We do throw a few pictures, improvements and rigs and equipment and stuff like that, our clients and that as well, but most of it's about our people,
Fantastic. And where are you guys? Are you located here in Perth, right? Or
we're located in Kwinana Beach,
the
industrial area there. So
fantastic.
Nice little workshop with lathes and milling machines, and we can pretty much do everything in-house and try to back our boys up. So
fantastic. Well, look, thank you so much for coming in today. It's been really super insightful on sort of your journey and where it is, and definitely have you back and go through a little bit deeper of some of those stories. But yeah, thanks so much.
Sounds good. Thanks, mate.
Cheers.